What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York calling from the quarantine zone again, and this time we are here with Sam of Band of Bastards. Great to be able to chat with you today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's so great to have you here, and a time when everybody's pissed off. We need some good old punk rock and hardcore, and this new album, Delete Repeat, definitely is representative of the pissed off hearts that we're all feeling. Just how was the overall making of this album? Was there like a preconceived idea, or did things kind of fall into place organically?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story. We kind of started haphazardly in May of like 2019. The bass player Eric had kind of saw me at a bar and was like, "Hey, I have this great idea, dude. Jason Reese from Trail of Dead is gonna sing in a hardcore band, like 80s style." And I'm like, "Cool, man. Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic idea." Never thought that it would actually like kind of happen. So we did that for just a few months. We pretty much practiced without Jason. We just wrote a couple of quick songs. Kind of decided to record them before everyone got busy with touring and whatnot. So we tracked like four songs. Um, Jason came in kind of like last minute, laid down some stuff, and yeah, and then it just kind of that was all that really happened. We played like four shows, and then everyone was touring and touring and touring, and we just kind of kept it quiet, and then bam, the pandemic hit. So
And they all lived
um,
happily ever after.
we all live happily ever after. Yeah, that happened, and we kept in contact a little bit. And we got a call from Charlie Dead's manager, and was just like, "Man, this I listened to it again. I heard it, a while back, last year or whatever, but." He's like, I just listened to it. Maybe it's because I've been trapped in my house for 9 months, but it just like, blew my fucking face off. And I listened to it like five or six times, which honestly only takes about 20 minutes of your time. Yeah. And he was just like, I think everybody needs to hear some really pissed off shit right now. I was like, okay, well, so,
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
yeah, we basically from then on, like he was like, let's do a record. And Andrew, our guitar player, within like 2 or 3 days, had written like the entire record, did it at home, sent it to me. I tracked some drums over it, and within a couple days, basically, we tracked the rest of the record. So no revisions, kind of 1, 2 takes, not
Well,
overthought.
this
So
is this is hardcore punk. There really doesn't need is there really any room for like revisions or like really is it something that you need to overthink too much? It almost seems like you just kind of need to like go with your first instinct with it, right?
totally, yeah. And I think just because it was so random that this happened, and or Andrew pretty much wrote a record in like 2 or 3 days. It's like let's just build on that idea of like not making it super difficult. Like all of us play in so many bands, and I can speak for myself, but it gets the songwriting process is like the best thing in the world, and it can also like just be pretty arduous and terrible. So it's nice to just commit to something and do it in like 1 or 2 takes, and it was kind of cathartic and therapeutic in a way, at least for me. So
Well, the songwriting process is very dangerous. You you don't approach it too much, you lose the passion. Or if you expand on it too much, you lose control. So it's definitely
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that whole process was just kind of strange. It was like almost like a test of endurance too for us. It was like we didn't have a lot of money, really support, and it was all so fresh and new. And it was like we would track those songs, and those were the first time that we'd ever played that song like as a band. So
yeah. Well,
it was kind of trippy. So, but luckily, I had a little studio out in the hill country of Texas, so it was like he could just bounce off some guitar ideas, and I'll just luckily he could lay them down, and man, just didn't even think about it. It was, but they were good songs, so I mean, it's really nothing to think about, honestly.
well, when you look at like, the stuff that we've heard so far, such as Division or Ruin or any of these
Sure,
songs, like I mean, it just has like that DIY charm behind it, where you just know that like that they didn't need a 48 channel console and a high bougie fucking
sure.
studio and I just think that this has. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Hadn't it not been for your PR sending me the press release and me reading about you guys, I wouldn't have thought that you guys are from Texas. I would have thought that you were from freaking like Brooklyn.
Yeah, great. I think Jason would be happy if you said DC. He's like a big DC guy. I think he secretly wants to like move there or something, but he's such a DC hardcore fanatic guy. But yeah, I mean, Texas has got some great punk too. Tim Kerr from Big Boys was in one of our videos. He's done albums with some of us in the band too, and like we got a pretty cool history in Texas.
Yeah.
We
It,
try.
is there like a hardcore scene in Texas? Because I mean, Texas has a great history of just music in general, but like,
Sure.
it. But like,
Not really. No, not with the urgency and like the upfront style of West or East. Not really. We have a lot of metal bands. Like Power Trip, Iron Age, which was like kind of a hard year for that whole thing. So,
yeah,
but for hardcore, no, there's not really too much. A lot of punk bands, a lot of great punk bands. So
yeah. Well, is there really a difference between punk rock and hardcore? I had a hard time distinguishing between hardcore and metal because to me, I thought that Slayer and Agnostic Front are just as equally as
sure.
aggressive and upfront. But like, now like punk rock and hardcore, I mean, same message, same riff progression, has the same goals, same intensity. Like,
Sure.
what is punk rock just a little bit more melodic? And is that really the only thing, or is it just that?
That's I guess yeah. If I'm getting nitpicky, it's like yeah, it's probably just more melodic, I guess instead of like I don't know. I guess I don't listen to a lot of hardcore anymore. Like it kind of comes and goes, so it's hard for me to like gauge, that huge umbrella term for so many genres and so many little things. But I don't know, man. I'm still listening to like Chaos UK and like bad like crusty stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Well, I think the only big difference is that punk's legacy led to Sum 41 and Blink 182, and hardcore's legacy led to Code Orange and Knocked Loose. So that's
Yeah,
been
it's
kind
true.
of like I've been noticing the legacies that they left more so than the actual movement.
Yeah, yeah. That is a strange thing too. Yeah, and even like the whole pop punk thing and how it all cross paths too. So, a couple of we've all played in every band like in Texas. Everyone in our band has played in every band that was ever anything in Texas. It seems like not anything, but
Yeah.
so yeah, there was a couple of us played like pop punk bands, but we're still playing shows with Madball and stuff. It's like this is just crazy,
Yeah.
So
I was just
I don't
at that
know.
Madball show in Tompkins Square Park that spawned so much attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the best thing I read that day was it was NYHC. Now you have COVID.
Yep.
So
Yep.
man, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had the antibobs, so I was safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucks. Yeah, it looked fun. Yeah, it looked super fun. I've kind of crossed paths with Mitz from Madball, which is actually an ironic story. I'll give it. Won't say who, but I used to be in this like kind of skate punk band, and we did a work tour in 2002 and 2004. And I think 2004, we were pretty poppy, and we were playing to like nobody pretty much, 50, 60 kids, which was great. We were there, but I kept noticing like I could have swore I saw Mitts like in the back, just always kind of standing there, just like watching our band. And I'm like,
Sounds
oh,
pretty
why would
hardcore.
Mitts be? Why would he even care? And then it kept happening like day after day. I think Hazen Street was on work tour that year, which is funny. And yeah, it turns out that Mitz was like a huge fan of our band, and he would play the last song with us on stage at that point. We hung out with him the whole work tour, and it was just like the weird most. That's just a weird thing for him to like. It was awesome though. It's cool.
Yeah. Now, being the drummer of the band, I love asking drummers this question because you mentioned that they submitted the music to you before you started laying down your parts. Now, hardcore is a very rhythm driven style, so when somebody hands you a song arrangement and there's no drums on it, I'm not going to talk shit, but how off time is it sometimes when they first send you the demos?
Um, just had that happen to me recently because I have a studio, and over the pandemic, I was like supplying drum tracks to some people, and which was great. It was fun for me to like learn. Finally, I had time to like actually learn the craft instead of just being the guy behind the drums. But yeah, it was bad, and it was you could hear the click in there too, but it was man, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it almost seems
It's
like you're
not my
the.
favorite thing ever because I don't know how to like nudge everything around. I mean, I could do it, but I'm just wasting my time. So I'll just learn the song, take the guitars out, and just go raw and just play it to memory if I have to. I've done it before, so
That sounds like a
and then
real.
make them redo it.
That sounds like a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, I have a pretty good memory for that stuff.
You kind of have
I've been doing this. I've been doing it for like almost 25 years, which is like hard to believe. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't just retain songs. I can't retain anything else. I couldn't tell you what I had for dinner last night. Um, I did. I had at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, your internet cut out. Your internet cut out right as you were saying that, so I'm gonna let that be the mystery of.
Man,
Yep.
I was saying that I was eating.
No, 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 no,
lasagna
no, no!
in
Don't
the
say it.
morning.
I want it to be the mystery. That should be the mystery of this
Okay.
interview.
Oh man,
Yep. Yeah.
lasagna all over me.
Well, now you gave it away.
Yeah, so that's yeah. They're pretty bad when I get them for the most part, but they end up tracking over them, and it hopefully turns out okay. I don't think I've ever listened to anything that's really come back yet.
Um, and like, being that you mentioned that Band of Bastards consists of members of other bands and stuff, including yourself, like, do you
Yeah.
kind of like use your previous efforts or your previous projects combining into this, or was the formation of Band of Bastards meant to just step into uncharted territory that you never really done before?
I mean, well, we all just wanted to do it at the end of the day. I mean, we didn't really try to evolve any bands. I mean, it definitely helps that like collectively we've played in so many bands. It's insane. Like Eric, the bass player, and myself were in a band in like 2000 called Shotzi. They were like on Hollywood Records and had a little bit of success. I was in the band for a short time. He was in for a while. Andrew, the guitar player, was in. We were in the same band, but at different times. That also had quite a bit of success. And Eric's been in the Start, which was like Amy Echo and Jamie Miller from like Bad Religion and Snot. Like he was the bass player. It's kind of like a dancey, dark wavy kind of thing. And God, he played in Pop Unknown, Kissing Chaos, Sparta. He was the original bass player for Sparta. And it was just like we all just, kind of mingle and take each other's spots whenever, someone dips out. So
I don't think there has ever been one musician in history who played in one band in their life.
no, well, I don't know. Well, Jason Reese probably has, but he's been in Trail of Dead for at least 20. I would imagine 25 years at this point, 25 years, which is amazing because they're so great. But he's has a few other side projects that were really really amazing too, where he played drums with the guy from Shotzi. So it's all just a mix of just a mix of players. I love it.
Yeah. So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today. And
Thank you.
yeah, is there just anything else with the release of Delete Repeat that you would like to promote for the release of this? Can you maybe be taking? You gotta take
it's
this.
coming out. So
You gotta
what's
take
that?
you gotta take Band of Bastards to New York City. I mean, this is a punk show waiting to happen.
Man, we all definitely want to tour. Like, I'm the only one in the band that doesn't have kids. So, but everyone seems down. We'll totally get up there. We all love, I love New York City. I haven't been in so long. But yeah, for the release, 12 songs, it's like 21 minutes or something like that. And we've already done 5 videos. I do videos myself. And then Andrew works for the state. He makes like Texas lottery commercials. It's really funny. So we've done 5 videos and trying to do like 2 or 3 more. So, check out our YouTube page and check out some weird ass videos with some weird special guests and hanging out in sewers and whatnot. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Band of Bastards. Be sure to check out Delete Repeat. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we will see you next time.